Welcome. We are here officially back today talking about something that I'm sure a lot of you guys are wondering about. Well, actually, I don't know if you guys are wondering about this, but this is what we're going to talk about. Pokemon Go, cities. What is the best city in the world for Pokemon Go? And this is where we're at. This is the city we are in today. Look at this. First of all, let's just look at this. This is insane. This is just regular Pokemon Go in Tokyo. No added stops, no added spawns because of events or anything like that. Literally looks absolutely insane. This is a crazy city. So today that is on the topic. What is the best city in the world for Pokemon Go? Is Tokyo the best city in the world for Pokemon Go? It has been argued many times by many people that this city is the mecca for Pokemon Go. There's arguably not a better city in terms of stop and spawn density, which I guess is what makes a city good for Pokemon Go. But no, we're really gonna actually break down what that means, because I think there's just a lot of factors that people don't think about when it comes to if a city is good or not. And a lot of you guys might be like at home, be like, oh, my city sucks. But there's probably some parts of your city that are really good. Starting off with the first thing I can talk about Tokyo is, yes, it's insane spawn cluster. Starting with a fit check, this is the fit today. We got the brown on brown with the Cotopaxi should sponsor me. Go to Cotopaxi's Instagram and says, yo, check out Pokédaxi. He loves your stuff. Anyway, the thing about Tokyo is it's gonna be insane, and we're gonna walk around and play, and honestly, I should probably start spinning some stops. Oh, psych, my item bag is full. That's the thing about Tokyo, is your item bag is literally always full because you spin so many stops. It's also very hot here today. But yeah, although the stops and spawns and all that stuff is amazing, you gotta think about different aspects like showcases. Showcases here are probably literally impossible to win. I don't know, maybe I'll try to find one and see if I can win it, but like, there's no way I can win a showcase in Tokyo. So although, I think it's very important to know, although, oh, you're good, thank you. Although every single city has a positive, which obviously Tokyo probably has a lot of positives, I think it's also important to note that every city has a negative. It is so hot today. Maybe that's a negative of Tokyo, this is the sun. It's currently, by the way, June 5th, so I guess we are heading into the this station is insane, by the way. It's literally the biggest train station I think I've ever been to. I think it's even bigger than the Paris one. There's literally a whole street called Ramen Street if you've ever been to Tokyo, but it's like literally a street with just a bunch of ramen stores there's a street in the station. How do you put a street in a station? That's never been done before. First time ever. Yeah, no, absolutely insane. I've been having a blast. I actually just got here yesterday, so haven't really had the time to do too much. But I don't know, I'm enjoying myself so far. It's gonna be a good week. We're gonna be here all week playing Pokemon Go. It's all right. People are trying not to jump in front of my camera. People here are so nice. They're just like not trying to bother. Anyway, it's gonna be a good week. It's gonna be fun. And yeah, I'm excited. So I'm gonna go find a spot where it's warmer, or not warmer, but more shaded. And we can go ahead and start testing out this city. See if it's really the best and what makes the city the best. We got a whole group of school kids here behind me. Are they playing Pokemon Go? Probably, maybe, I'm not sure. We got a Shadow Totodile. Oh, by the way, Shadow Totodile in Grunts. Good for Shadow for Alligator for the Great League and Ultra League. I did not know this thing was in Grunts right now. So grab it. Actually, makes me think, when's the next Team Go Rocket event? I feel like we haven't had one in forever. That'd be great to get that back. IVs are Nundo. Terrible. Okay, let's go find a different spot. By the way, I don't know if you guys can literally see me. I can't see anything. It's insane, like, how many high-rise buildings are in this place. Like all around me, it's just high-rise, high-rise, high-rise. Which, granted, similar in New York, but it's interesting here because it's high-rise buildings, but then some of them less high, so you can actually kind of see between them. But damn, these are some big buildings. Look at this one. I'm probably gonna be super dark. Okay, look. The first thing we need to talk about here, and honestly, arguably, is potentially one of the most important things of all when you are trying to classify a city. Why am I so dark, man? And that's going to be, Pokestop. Pokestop clusters, Pokestop density. is very important. Why? Well, obviously Pokestops get you Pokeballs, which is very, very important towards Pokemon Go. And if we're gonna classify one city in the world, also my internet sucks right now. If we're gonna classify one city in the world as the best for Pokestop clusters, it's probably gotta be this. I know there's a couple spots in Spain. There was like a really popular cheating spot, we're gonna say. Dude, okay, if we have the worst internet in the world, it's Tokyo. There was a really popular spot in Spain where the Pokestop clusters were just insane. But in terms of across the board, across the whole city, like look, this is all I'm looking at. This is literally insane. No matter what street you are on in Tokyo, you can probably spin a stop. I would argue that no matter what street you're on in Tokyo, you could probably spin a stop. And that's a very important thing. That's a very important thing because if you're in a city where there's no Pokestops and you can't spin stops, then you can't even play Pokemon Go. Like me right now, because I can't even open the game. So if we are going to classify the best city in the world by Pokestops, Tokyo might have it. But I think this is going to be another instance where it's a similar thing. If you guys saw my video where I talked about the best player in the world, the problem is there's just so much across the board. There's so many different things you could be good at. Your city could be amazing at Pokestops, but you have no spawns, or you have great spawns and you have no Pokestops. Granted, I think Tokyo might have it all. I still think it's important to look at it and break it down in categories because again, there's no one in the world is the best at everything. You know, there's no god of Pokemon Go who's just I'm the best PvPer, raider, catcher, because you just don't have time. Like physically, I don't think people have time for that. I don't even think it's possible to become #1 in PvP and also have the most raids done. And so like, it's the same with the cities. You know, you could be #1 at having the worst internet, but you could also be #1 at spinning Pokestops, but then #1 in terms of, I don't know, ease of transportation around the city or efficiency, because something, oh, I have to log in again. Something that's very important is how your grind is. Just because a city is good doesn't mean you can grind it efficiently, you know? There are some cities where, like New York, for example, you kind of have to walk grind that, which is fine, but it's never gonna be as efficient as a car grind. Meanwhile, there's other cities where there's not a lot of traffic. It's very easy to car grind that city and just drive around from stop to stop, spinning everything. But, you know, or sorry, there's no but there. You can get all the spawns and stops. It's just, there's no but. It's great, it's great. So again, that's something to consider as well. But from what I'm seeing, Tokyo, it's not a lot of traffic in Tokyo. There's literally, at least where I am at, right near Sendai Station, like literally look at this. Let me show you guys. This is at, what time is it? 12:52. So granted, it is not rush hour, but I see what, 3 cars, 4, there's one there, one there. There's like nothing. Like in New York, this would be, oh my God, sorry. In New York, this would be like backed up, like literally car to car. But here, it's pretty chill. Granted, again, it is a, what day is it? It's like a Wednesday at 1. So we do have to keep that in mind. But anyway, that is it. I'm going to log back into Pokemon Go. We're going to head to a park I see on the nearby, and we'll continue talking about this. This is an insane city. Look at this. Look at these buildings, dude. I don't know why I'm so fascinated with buildings today, but these are some big buildings. I say this, but I'm going to New York like very soon, so I'm probably going to say the same thing when I'm there. I don't know. I like buildings. I think it's pretty impressive that humans can build something that big and it just kind of just chills there. Like that right here, this thing was not here 100 years ago. It might have been actually, but you know, it's kind of insane that this thing just popped up. Okay, we found ourselves this garden. It's like this is like right in the middle of the city. Like this just little garden. It's kind of insane. Anyway, next thing we have to talk about here is going to be Pokestop, not Pokestop. Pokestop are clearly, they're everywhere. We can spin them. We can connect our Pokemon Go Plus, which doesn't want to connect. Okay, we can spin them. But Pokemon. Now, I've only been playing in the city for a little bit, but I do think it is one of those problems that a lot of major cities have where, although there's a lot of stops and a lot of Pokeballs to be collected, you really need to know where to play to get the most efficient amount of spawns and the most amount of spawns. If you don't know, in Pokemon Go, Pokemon have spawn timers, and one thing about Pokemon Go is that certain areas will be better to play at certain times. There are certain spots in Ottawa where if you go there in, from like the 120 to 125 or 130, there'll be a lot more Pokemon spawns than if you go there from like, I don't know, 150 to 2 o'clock. I don't know, that's just a random example, but Pokemon will spawn in at different times. There's spawn timers. And this is not a city, this is not, and honestly, I think most cities as well, you can't just go anywhere and be like experiencing an insane amount of spawns. Unless it's like a community day or something when spawns are boosted, or a Go Fest, you're not gonna experience an insane amounts of spawns, but there's still a lot of spawns. I just caught 3 Pokemon there, but I've been walking around and I'm gonna try my best to get you other footage, but this is more of like a sit and talk kind of vibe, so it's kind of hard to walk and talk. I will be streaming actually in Tokyo, or actually I probably already have streamed, depending when this video is out. So if you want to check that out, I will do my best to link that below, or just go check out the streams. It's the Slumbering Sands event and the Gumi Calm Day. That will all be played in Tokyo, so if you want to get a better idea of what Pokemon Go looks like. But nonetheless, spawns are still here. There are still Pokemon to be caught. And I do have to keep perspective. A lot of you guys are going to be watching this video and be like, Dax, oh my God, you're complaining you're in Tokyo. Like, there's nothing wrong with that city compared to where I live. And I fully agree. There's, this is the most nitpicky video I've ever done, where we're kind of analyzing whether this place is good or not, but this place is, just looking at the Pokestops alone, this place is already better than probably any city. Even if there was no spawns in Tokyo, Tokyo would be better than a lot of other rural towns or middle of nowhere Timbuktu places, because of the stops. It's actually insane how many stops. A lot of people ask, by the way, why Tokyo is allowed so many Pokestops. It's because, as you can see here, you see these ones with the little pink stuff? That's a sponsored stop. You see, this is sponsored by Family Mart. This one is not sponsored. This is sponsored by Family Mart. Sponsored stops don't actually affect the S2 cell rules when it comes to making Pokestops. So they're able to kind of like cram a lot more in here. Like, this is sponsored as well, Tony's Coffee. They're able to cram a lot more because there's no like rules on how many stops can be in each area, because the sponsored ones are just gonna appear no matter what. Like, this is another Tully's Coffee. So that's why you see like parks like that, or over there where there's just like an insane amount of Pokestops, just because the fact that, oh my God, look at over here. Look at that little, like, there's literally 2 stops on top of each other. We're gonna go there next, actually. I wanna see this. Yeah, that's why there's so many stops here. And it's absolutely insane of a place to play. Can't complain. Overall, winning is for winners. This is a Shadow Ground. Overall, you can't complain. There's a lot of spawns. I'm gonna walk around, test it out a little bit more. But at the end of the day, what am I trying to say here? Oh, I was gonna try to say something. I completely lost my train of thought. But yeah, at the end of the day, every city is going to have, when there's no event going down, every city, no matter what city you're in, you're gonna have to learn where the spawns are, when the spawns appear, or what the best grinding route is. And I just got here, so I can't really figure that out unless there's someone in the comments who grinds Tokyo a lot and can tell me. That's kind of like just how it is. So unfortunately, that's how Pokemon Go is. You can't have like an insane experience, unless it's like a Go Fest or something with sponsor boosted. You can't just have like an insane experience anywhere. There is a act of kind of figuring out, where to go. Anyway, I want to go check out that double spawn, or that double stop. It looks pretty cool. But we're gonna go ahead and battle take this down. I feel like I don't talk about Pokemon enough in this video. By the way, these videos are clearly, a lot of people are always like in the comments like, oh my God, like, stop yapping. That's literally the whole point of this video. If you guys are looking to watch a more, traditional Pokemon Go video where I get a bunch of shinies, hunt some Pokemon, do some cool challenges, plenty of other videos on the channel. Oh, by the way, Shadow Mudkip is back? Since when? I'm figuring out all these new shadows are back. Yeah, go watch all the GoFest videos. We've got plenty of GoFest videos coming, more coming that haven't been edited yet, and we're heading to Madrid in like a week as well for GoFest there. So yeah, big plans, a lot of fun, and a lot of hundo Mudkips, please. Dude, I will say, the internet, what am I on for internet actually? NTT Docomo. Docomo is not really hitting right now for the internet. Granted, I am on an eSIM, so I don't know if it makes it like a little bit less quick. Yeah, by the way, for anyone who's traveling, a lot of people did ask me, like, if they're going to New York or Madrid, where to get your internet, use the this is not sponsored, but use AirRolo app. Lets you get eSIMs. I think you need like a newer-ish phone, but like an eSIM is like it's like internet, but like you don't really need to put a SIM card or anything in it. Your phone will just connect to the internet, which is just amazing. So no complaints about that. Let's go to that double cluster. Oh, there's another one right here. Super cool. And we'll start talking about point number 3, and I guess rating number 3 of if Tokyo is actually good or not. A nice thing as well is like the streets are pretty empty for walking. Again, granted, I got to keep in mind it's a Tuesday at 1 p.m. People are at work and stuff, but and yeah, I know it's going to get busy. Actually, I was talking to my friend about this. Tokyo is actually, I think there's more people in Tokyo than in Canada where I live, like just the city itself. But granted, the city is huge. I think I'm in, I forget where I am. I forget what it's called, but like, it's kind of like New York almost, where there's like boroughs and different, like, you know, Manhattan and the Bronx. And Tokyo kind of has like a similar vibe where there's a bunch of different stuff. So there's like a lot of people, but also there's a lot of space because it's really, really big. I will say though, I probably shouldn't judge how many people are on the street because I know at rush hour, this place is probably going to get absolutely bombarded with people and you can't even walk on the streets. Granted, I've actually experienced it yesterday when I got into Tokyo on the train, and I was taking the train down to my hotel. It was about like 4 or 5 p.m. Everyone's getting off work. Oh, I've never been so close to a man in my life on that train. Let me tell you, that train, yeah, we were touching, that's for sure. Not in that way. Anyway, let's go check out this Doubles Pokestop. Okay, like look, I find this kind of funny. I can spin more Pokestops than catch more Pokemon in this exact location. That's how many Pokestops are in Tokyo. I can spin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe even reach this other one here, but there's only 3 Pokemon to catch. 4. Okay, so I guess it's tied now. Oh no, it's still Pokestop wins. Anyway, I find that absolutely insane. And yeah, that's just the thing, is like, there's a lot of stops, but I'm not really seeing the spawns right now. But again, I don't want to make a judgment based off being here for a day. I need to play more this week to kind of get my final consensus on the spawns. But I just want to let you guys know this is not a spot where you just pull up and you're going to see more Pokemon than you've ever seen before and more you can handle. Granted, Sendai was like that. I think they did boost the spawns in Sendai for the event, because Sendai did have an insane amounts of spawns. But that's Go Fest, so that's different. This is just regular non-event times. I don't think there's an event going on right now, at least. Okay, let's go to this park, or whatever, double stop. Okay guys, I have found this. This is insane. I found, how many Pokestops can I hit from here? Let me zoom this in actually. Let me count. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe this one too. Yes, I can spin that one. 10 stops from this exact location. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 Pokemon. So again, Tokyo is known for having more Pokestops than spawns. That's like what I'm calling this city. Anyway, I'm gonna spin these stops, but I wanna talk about the third point here, which I think is actually like arguably a very, very important point. You know, Pokestops, spawns, gyms, all that stuff, actual in-game stuff, very important, very important. I know some of you guys probably play in trash, you know, rural towns where there's really nothing. But I think underrated to rate a city is safety. I've heard so many stories of people, or comments. I've read so many comments of people coming to my comment section and being like, Dax, I can't play Go Fest because it's too dangerous. Or, you know, community or spotlight hour is 6 to 7 p.m. and it gets dark and it's not safe to go to go out in the dark in my area. And I think that's just like a very important thing to mention, because like at the end of the day, every city has a different, I guess, like safety measure, how safe it is to go outside. And let me tell you, I think I talked about this in the Sendai Let's Play, but Japan, one of the safest cities. I'm kidding, Japan's not a city. Tokyo, honestly, just all of Japan, it's very safe. I talked to Zoe Two Dots about this actually this weekend. She told me a story, or like a tale. I don't know if it's true or not, but somebody once left their wallet in the bathroom by accident in, I think it was Japan somewhere, maybe it was Tokyo, and he came back the next day untouched. It was literally just left there because no one here steals, or at least like I'm sure there's bad people everywhere in the world, but I've heard that there's like no one, I guess, has like wants to steal or anything. Like, they're all super nice, and I've experienced that. I felt completely safe. Granted, I am like a, you know, white dude walking around. Like, I don't know if anyone's trying to jump the kid. Granted, I don't know, who knows. But I don't know. I personally felt safe. Obviously, I can't speak for everyone. I know, like, especially traveling as a girl, I've seen a lot of comments in the video. Like, traveling as a girl, I'll never be able to relate to it because I'm sure it's a lot harder because, again, like, people will, you know, this is starting to get dark and harsh reality, but it's completely different than traveling as a white dude. But I have felt safe, and I have been told stories that no one really tries to steal your stuff, or no one tries to take your stuff, or, I don't know, attack you. I haven't had anyone try to intimidate me or anything like that. Like, I actually haven't really even talked to anybody. You could literally just walk the streets and travel all of Tokyo without having to talk to a single person because the culture is so reserved and everything is so, you know, like, I think at the ramen stores, when you go in, you buy a ticket and then you give them the ticket. So you don't order, you don't tell them your order, and then you just sit down and they bring you your ramen. So theoretically, you don't even need to really talk to anyone, which is, like, really cool. I actually think it's a really cool culture out here. But yeah, so anyway, safety I think is very important, and I think Tokyo, that could be arguably one of the best parts about Tokyo and Japan, is that you could be completely safe. You could be playing Go Fest, Community Day, Raid Hour, Spotlight Hour, alone in your area, in your borough, or whatever, or wherever you are in Japan. Maybe you're more up north in a more northern city, and you'll probably feel safe. Again, anyone who does live in Japan or has experienced Japan, let me know how you felt. But I don't know. I personally felt very safe. But again, my word is my word. I would love to hear your experience in the comments because my life is not the end-all arrival. I can't sit here, even though it sounds like I am. I can't sit here and be like, Japan is the safest country in the world, because again, there's bad people everywhere, and I've only experienced what I've experienced, and that doesn't mean it's everything, if that makes sense. Anyway, safety, very important. We got Pokestops, we got spawns, and we got safety. But there is one thing I think that isn't the greatest about Japan here. We're going to talk about it in the next clip, so let's go. Okay, guys, it's unfortunately, first of all, by the way, we're here at that's the Imperial Palace, I believe it's called, which I'm going to go into later. I don't think I'm allowed to bring a big camera in there, so that's going to be more of a personal visit for me. But go follow Pokedaxi. I do updates there on Instagram if you want to see photos. Anyway, yeah, it's not all positive. Sometimes playing Pokemon Go in a city, there's negatives that come with it. And one of them we already talked about. One of them is going to be the showcases. Now, unfortunately, Pokestop showcases, if you're in a rural town, you're just kind of at an advantage. And that's why I always recommend people, not necessarily to drive to rural towns and like fight those trainers, but try to find the less busy showcases where there's less people, less competition. Because at the end of the day, that'll just be easier to win, right? Less competition means less people. But Tokyo, I don't know if you'll find less competition because, again, this was the place Pokemon Go was born. Actually, I don't know if it was born in Tokyo, but it was born in Japan. So the amount of Pokemon Go players out here is absolutely insane. I remember I mentioned it to you guys, but Sendai Go Fest got sold out in like literally a day. New York Go Fest, I don't even think it's sold out yet. It's not even sold out. But Sendai got sold out in a day. There are so many Pokemon Go players, so many people into Pokemon here. It's part of the culture. There's literally 2 Pokemon centers here. Is there 3? 2 or 3 Pokemon centers here. Like, everybody loves Pokemon. I don't think there's a Pokemon center in Toronto, in Canada. I'm pretty sure there isn't. Like, literally everywhere you look, there's Pokemon. It's just, it's a Pokemon place. So fortunately and unfortunately, there's going to be more and more people playing Pokemon, especially Pokemon Go, meaning more competition. And that also goes, I think, for the gyms as well. Now, granted, again, if I'm completely wrong about this, let me know. But if I look around in the gym, let's look at that gym that has 6 people in it. Let's look at this gym, it has 6 people in it. Let's look at this gym, that has 6 people in it. Actually, like, looking around at the gyms, there's actually not an insane amount. Like, they're actually kind of spread out for a city like Tokyo. Granted, some of them are beside each other, but like, I would think that it would be a little more clustered. I would have thought, but unfortunately it is not. But anyway, gymming, probably really, really competitive out here. Trying to get your 50 coins a day or gold certain gyms, probably really hard. And also on top of that, raiding might be tough. Granted, like, again, all these gyms are walkable, but I've been to plenty of cities where, you know, there's a loop of 10 gyms within a, 500 meter radius, so you can just kind of do a raid hour and walk around. Here, for example, like, obviously, again, I need to say this, I haven't been here long, and I don't know the best spots, so there's probably way better spots, but like, if I were to play Raid Hour in the Imperial Palace here, there's only like 5 gyms. Granted, I think the Imperial Palace closes, but yeah, still, like, I'd have to walk. Anyway, it's not the end of the world. It's not terrible, but are we talking about God tier level amounts of Pokestops? Like, no, we're not talking that in terms of gyms. We're talking a little bit lighter and a little bit more competitive. So that's definitely something to consider for Pokemon Go here in Tokyo. But there's a lot of good that comes with it. When it comes with a lot of players, when there's a lot of players like playing a Pokemon Go game, playing a Pokemon game, that means there's community. There's community. Now, obviously, I don't really speak Japanese, as you can tell. So I can't really go around and find the local community. Granted, I could probably talk to a couple different connects I have and stuff and get in connection with the community. I would love to do that actually next time I'm out here. Meet the locals, meet the Tokyo locals. And like, again, I say locals, there's probably thousands of groups around here because there's so many different boroughs. I don't know what they call them here in Tokyo. Districts, I guess. So I would love to meet them, but like, anyway, there's so many players here. So if you are looking for community or people to meet up with, a raid with, all that stuff, there's no shortage of players here. Granted, like I mentioned before, Japanese culture is very reserved. They're very closed. They're not as talkative. And so I'm actually very curious if like I'm sure Raid Hour meetups happen, but like, how popular are they and how many people pull up? And is it more like everybody's kind of doing their own thing? That would be something to test out potentially. Not test out, but learn more about. And again, if you've been to Japan and you know about it, let me know in the comments, because I always read the comments. Especially, I'm going to be taking a long plane ride, so I'd love to, well, I'm not going to have internet, but I'm going to be traveling soon. We're going to be going to Madrid soon. And while I'm at the airport and stuff, I would love to read the comments. But anyway, that is something to consider. Also, wait, there's literally a Pokestop, and look at this, a Pokestop and a gym on top of each other. That is insane. What is this Pokestop? Dude, neither of these are sponsored, so this is actually kind of interesting how this happened. I think back in the day, a bunch of Pokestops got added, or when the game first dropped, there was a bunch of stops added, and then there was like no S2 cell rules. I remember something like that where like you could kind of not hack in, but like get some crazy looking gyms and crazy position gyms just because of the fact that like the rules were really loose at the start. I'm gonna spin that. I don't know, maybe I'm completely talking. But anyway, in terms of community, there is community here, but with community comes competition. So do note that Tokyo is a competitive city, and it's gonna be like any other city, honestly. Any other city you go to, New York, blah, 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 even your local town, you'll probably find competition if you are playing Pokemon Go in a city. Because again, city is better for stops and spawns, but also comes with more players. You know, you're always gonna attract more people to a place where it's good to play, but more people means good for raids and easier to find people to do raids with, but also more competition when it comes time to battle them in gyms or beat them in showcases. Anyway, one more point I wanna make, and I think it's the most important one. Let's head to our final location. By the way, why is the water so green here? I think it's like the lily pads or something, but damn. There's the palace, or the entrance, at least. Check this out, guys. There it is, well, that's not it, but it's pretty cool, eh? Not too shabby, Japan, not too shabby. While we walk to our final spot, though, I just do want to mention that we do have the Pokédaxi group trip coming up. So if you want to, you know, have cool Pokemon Go experiences like we did in Sendai, or, you know, in a place like this, you can visit us, join us in Mexico City, me and Pokemama, September 28th to October 3rd. We will be there. It's going to be a group trip, so it's not really like a solo trip with the point of, you know, just budgeting and seeing all the sites and stuff. It's more about meeting people, joining me, meeting me, and also not meeting me in like that way, but like meeting me and plenty of other Pokemon Go trainers and making new friendships. It's going to be like an absolute blast. Again, if you're interested, check the link below. Tickets are on sale. They are limited spots. But if you have any questions, let me know. We're going to be doing things like Spotlight Hour together. Where's the sun, by the way? I don't think you guys can see my face. Spotlight Hour, Raid Hour together, hunting for Hawlucha, which is actually the last Pokemon I need for my Pokedex. So we're going to be trying our best to catch that, and obviously you'll be there so you can catch one yourself. Different regionals like Maractus, but then also there'll be other activities like we're doing a cooking class. We're going to be visiting pyramids, visiting Frida Kahlo's museum, and plenty of other cool local, more touristy stuff, if you might say. We're going to have dinners together, all that stuff. Again, it's going to be a group trip experience. If you're looking for a trip where it's just all about, you know, getting there and checking out all the sites and seeing everything. That's not really what this trip is. This trip is more about making memories, making friendships, and having an absolute blast, and also obviously catching halucha, which will be insane. Again, limited tickets, link below. If you have any questions about the trip, feel free to ask me. I know a lot of people have said payments might be an issue. You only actually have to pay 25% down to reserve your spot. So if you're like thinking about going or not, like you only have to pay 25% down and you can book a spot. So again, check it out below. Let me know any feedback as well you have about the trip. I know a lot of people said, oh, Mexico City, not really the spot I want to go to. Or hey, maybe next time on this trip, can we do this and that? Let me know, because I do want to host these group trips. They do sound like a blast to do. Again, I am taking a profit from this trip. I do want to be honest with you guys. This is a business I do run, but I'm super excited to go. And if you're interested, let me know. If not, no worries, no worries. Again, anyone who does come, let me know. Okay, I'm going to stop rambling about this trip, and let's talk about the final point. Okay, guys, and that brings us to our final point here. Let me get this focus locked on me, which is, that's way too dark. Okay, cool. I think something that honestly people underrate, but again, if we're going to be comparing every single city for Pokemon Go and which one is the best and all that stuff, I think we do have to talk about location and specifically regionals, right? Regionals are very rare Pokemon in Pokemon Go, hard to get. And granted, every single regional is rare if you base it off of the region it covers, if that makes sense. Like, you know, Comfey is a lot rarer than something like a Tauros because Comfey only is in Hawaii. Meanwhile, Tauros is in all of America, which is a much bigger land mass. So it's very important to think about it that way. But I think regionals are important to this equation because again, the best city for Pokemon Go, if one city has a better regional than the other, arguably it's going to be a better city. Now, the only regional in Japan is Farfetch. Granted, you also can include, Sol Rock. Technically, that's a regional because that's half of the world. And like, I think Zangoose spawns here as well because it's half of the world. But those ones, I'm not really consider those. I'm going to consider the regionals that only spawn in a certain-ish area, not just, hey, split down the middle, Seviper and Zangoose vibes or Durant and Heatmore vibes. Now, Farfetch, in terms of rarity, it is a regional that spawns, I believe, in all of China, Taiwan, and Japan. So it's kind of like an Asia regional. And Asia, granted, is pretty big. Asia is pretty big. Now, for you guys, I think it's important to keep a perspective, right? Because for us, anyone who's from the States, Farfetch, insanely rare. But out here, people are going to look at us and be like, Tauros, insanely rare for them. So I think the best way to compare is how much of a landmass does Farfetch cover. So it covers South Korea, Taiwan, Japan, and Hong Kong. Oh, so I guess it doesn't cover all of China. Farfetched, is this a map? Personal prefectures. Let me look. If I search up Farfetched regional map Pokemon Go. I did not spell Farfetch correctly. Oh, here we go. We can take a nice look at a map here. So yeah, if we look at a map here, we will see that Farfetch doesn't spawn anywhere. No, it doesn't. Actually, there you go. So, oh wow, nice quality, Dax. There you go. So Farfetch, look at the area it covers. It's kind of really, really small. If you compare it to Mr. Mime and Tauros and Corsola and Heracross and all that stuff, Farfetch is a pretty small area it covers. So I think we do have to give some points to Tokyo in the fact, or not just Tokyo, but like all of Japan really. I guess we're kind of comparing the city, but it has a rare regional because again, this regional does not cover a lot of the world. It is hard to get. It has come out in raids in the past. I think it was during Kanto Tour. It was in raids, and it might come back to raids. But anyway, I do think there is some merit. There is some value towards Farfetch'd being a regional of Japan, really. But that brings us obviously to our final point here. After discussing everything, after discussing how many stops we see in Japan, how many spawns like this shiny Gulpin we see in Japan, the regionals, the safety, is it really the best city? Is it really the best city for Pokemon Go? Is there a better city? Also, I don't know if you guys can hear me because there's literally a vacuum cleaner back here. I guess we could talk about the noise too. It's actually not that loud here. I don't know I'm talking about the noise. Is this the best city for the world? And I think my answer to that question is, I can't answer it. And okay, let me explain. You guys are gonna be like, oh, Ducks, what do you mean? We talked about this in another video, but I think it's very important to life to not like say something's the best based on not experiencing every single city in Pokemon Go, or city in Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go, city playing Pokemon Go. I can't sit here and tell you guys with a straight face that there is no better city in the world for Tokyo. For Tokyo, what am I saying? I can't speak. For Pokemon Go. Because I haven't experienced every single city. I haven't been to every city in the world and have made a chart breaking down every single aspect, and this city is better for this and this city is better for that. I haven't done that, so I can't tell you. But I can tell you that Tokyo is definitely the best city I've ever played in terms of spawn density, you know, easily collecting Pokeballs, safety, all that stuff. It's definitely is the best city I've played. But again, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you guys Tokyo is the best, because that would just be a lie, because again, I haven't experienced it all, so I don't know what the best. But it is a damn good city for Pokemon Go, as you can see. And I think honestly, any city in Japan is absolutely insane for Pokemon Go, because it's the birthplace of Japan. So if you guys can ever make it out to Japan, I would highly recommend it. I also will say, coming to Tokyo, it was very nerve-wracking getting here. I talked about this, but I was like, I'm nervous for my trip and hopefully it goes well. Dude, this is like one of the easiest cities to visit I've ever been to. Everybody is so nice. Everybody tries to help you figure stuff out. You don't really need to actually talk to anybody to get anything. Like if you want food, you could just go, first of all, to the thousands of 7-Elevens around here. You can literally get food at any point. There's literally a pigeon right there. And you can just go to any restaurant and just like point at the menu and they'll get you it. Or go to the vending machines and get food. Like super easy to travel. The train system is super simple. You just load a card and then you just Google Maps it and then you just go there. And the trains can get you anywhere super fast. You can get anywhere in like 30 minutes, anywhere in the city within 30 minutes. I love it. I love it. Absolutely insane. I've been having a blast, guys, and the adventures do not end because we are going to be playing in Tokyo until Tuesday. What day is it? It's Wednesday, so I have about 6 days left here before I head out of Japan, but I definitely will be back. And again, if you guys are interested in more group trips, let me know where. I know a lot of people do want to go to Japan, so theoretically it could be cool. Who knows, maybe this time next year, I'll be in Japan with you, right here, maybe at this exact spot. Let me know anyway, the feedback about it. And again, the group trip is available to check out if you're interested. If you're not, again, no worries. I'm not trying to force anyone who shouldn't be going on this group trip to go. I think it's gonna be a really, really cool experience, and I want to, again, I'm only going to give you guys things that I think are gonna be really cool and really sick. This pigeon needs to literally calm down right now. It does. Anyway, I'm gonna leave you guys with my final thoughts and my final thoughts of the week, my therapy thoughts. I know a lot of you guys love these when I just kind of ramble on about my thoughts, but I think, well, there was something I had prepared to say. Oh, what was it? Oh yeah, okay. I don't know if I've talked about this before, but I think it was a quote. I don't know if it was a quote I read or something, but it was along the lines of pretty much when anything wrong happens in your life, it's actually technically the right thing. Because at the end of the day, everything you do in life, it's like a domino effect almost. Like if, let's say, what's an example? My phone battery dies right now, or I don't know, my phone explodes, or I don't know. So let's say I run out of battery and I forgot my portable charger. You're like, oh, that sucks. But what that does is it tells your brain next time, bring a portable charger. You know, it's a lesson learned, a lesson to kind of be improved in your life. And that's just kind of something I think is very important to think of. When bad things happen, take the lesson, learn from it, and improve. Nothing that's not supposed to happen is gonna happen. I don't know, this sounds almost kind of like, I'm not a huge person on like fate and destiny. Like I like to believe that we make our own destiny, but at the end of the day, things are gonna happen. You know, I don't know, let's think about, you have like the worst, let's look at a relationship sense. You have the worst relationship ever, and you're like, oh, this is so hard, and then you get out of it. And you're like, oh, I wish that had never happened. But if you look at it another way, that relationship happening allowed you to learn, you know, things you want out of a relationship, or what you want out of life, or, you know, what not to do, or what you're not looking for, all that stuff. You know, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know the best way to kind of phrase it, but like, I guess it's almost like everything is a lesson. Everything is a lesson at the end of the day. Take everything as a lesson. And when bad things happen, it's okay to be sad, because being sad is just normal and it's a normal emotion. But remember to take the lesson with you. Don't just be sad and move on. You know, take the lesson or the advice or whatever. Like, you know, if I don't know the best way to look at it, but like, I don't know, I forget my backpack in this, like I leave without my backpack. Next time, I'm gonna make sure to check my list, to check twice and make sure I grab my backpack. I don't know. Anyway, that's my therapy thoughts for the week. If you guys enjoyed them, let me know in the comments below. A lot of people saying that they enjoy me randomly rambling. And again, I don't claim to be a professional therapist or know everything about the world, but I don't know, this is just how my brain works. This is the thoughts I'm having, and I don't think, whether you are a master therapist or not, I don't think there's anything wrong with just saying what you're thinking. Just say what you think. Just say what you think, you know? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what everybody says, because again, at the end of the day, you're probably never gonna see these people again. That's a Pokédaxy quote for you right there. Anyway, guys, that's gonna be it. Actually, wait. I always say that's gonna be it. We have to look at the comments from last week. We always do this, guys. Comment below. We always go through your comments right at the end of the video and highlight a couple ones. And this last week's one at Sendai Go Fest, let's see what people are thinking about Pokédaxy in Japan. Are they thinking I'm crazy? Probably. First comment, I'm 0 years old. Every like this comment gets makes me 1 year older. Oh, I liked it. Okay. So bro is 132. Damn, bro's the oldest man alive. Anyway, taking a break from Pogo. I actually read this one. Setting goals. Taking a break from Pogo was the best things I did. I played from release roughly for the first 3.5 years. Ended up taking a 3.5 year break and then slowly getting back into it. Now I'm really enjoying the game, picking up again. Feels like a new game. Almost gave up, similar feeling that I had when it first came out. I've been setting my own personal goals since I picked it up. Sometimes they include things like gain 100k XP each month or walk 50 plus kilometers each week for a month, and that has added a level of enjoyment to the game. Thanks for uplifting, real fun conversations. You're doing great work. Truly appreciate your content. Appreciate you, and thank you for sharing that, because again, I answered this comment, and my number one point in my answer was Pokemon Go is supposed to be a game you enjoy, and if you do not enjoy it, take a break, stop playing it. Don't even call it a break. Just say you're quitting, and then if you want to rejoin, come back to the game later down the line. That is completely fine. Again, if you're not having fun playing Pokemon Go, I don't think you should be playing it. Granted, again, it is more complicated than a black and white statement, and sometimes Niantic will do changes or drop events that you don't like. That's different, but just if there's a general disenjoyment every time you open Pokemon Go and you're just not having fun playing the game and you're just always complaining or angry when you're playing it, like, you need a break, and I think it's gonna be very, very healthy. Thank you for the comment, Ronnie Mo, I think it's how you say it. Honestly, from Linus, honestly, very comforting watching your videos. Makes me relax and not think about life and the struggles that come with it. You make me realize that there's so much more to life and that I've got to enjoy and appreciate the small things. Personally, my friends quit the game, but watching your videos, especially when you're out with Mystic and Fleece, really made me feel like a part of it, if you know what I mean. I really hope GoFest comes to my country next year and I'll be able to meet you and finally experience this. Thank you so much for pushing out the content. Much love. Time to quit yapping. Yo, I appreciate you, Linus. Thank you for the comment. Again, yeah, hopefully GoFest comes to everybody's city at one point because it's like honestly an insane experience. Okay, we got a long one here from Happy Elephant. Wow, Dax, you're so real. I love it. Thanks for the perspective on IRL, GoFest, therapy, emotions, everything you covered in this video. You took into multiple different aspects. Can people afford it? If they can, is it worth it? If they can't, that's okay. What you've experienced, etc. Really appreciate you addressing the comments on you being a sellout. And the trip you put together. It's awesome to see you believe in themselves and defend their position in a respectful way. There's so much hate and anger when people have different views. Many thanks. People don't ever listen to each other. Thank you for listening, responding in a respectful manner. Truly refreshing. Thank you, really. Again, at the end of the day, guys, I know who I am. I'm gonna just be who I am, and that's just kind of like, I think you guys need to do the same thing. Just be yourself, just be yourself. Anyway, I know so many people are bummed out that they can't go to these events or participate in other things that they like due to finances or other things. It's a huge bummer and it sucks. But as you did in your video, experience life the best you can. Even if you can't go, take part in Global Go Fest with a friend or group if you can. It's all about connections, not necessarily about the shinies. The shinies are great. When it comes down to it, it's the people that make or break it. Life isn't all roses and butterflies, true. I probably shouldn't say that word. Happens as they can. What you can do is work through it to the best of your ability, and that is commendable. 100% agree. Thank you so much for this great comment. Again, yeah, at the end of the day, Brandon 10 says it best, but we're gonna remember the friendships we made, the memories we made playing Pokemon Go. We're not gonna remember our shiny count or our XP stat, all that stuff. It's gonna really be truly about the people you make. So make sure you make those connections, make sure you play with those people and make those memories. Anyway, I think I'm gonna leave it there. Someone's saying maybe we'll get an Ottawa Go Fest. That would be insane. Appreciate you taking the time. Some of your Go Fest time to make this video. Love the format of these in general. The crossover between a casual game. Thank you. Really appreciate that and resonate with your philosophies. I'm glad you're able to see the impact you're having with this series. Thank you so much. LOL Kylie. Thank you for that. Anyway, guys, comment below. I'm gonna read a couple of the top comments on the next video. That is it. I am in Tokyo, guys. Again, more videos coming from my adventures here in Japan. And I guess next up on the trip, when you're watching this, will be Madrid. So stay tuned for the Madrid Let's Play series during GoFest. We'll be out there with Casual Coops. We'll see you guys there. Anyway, thank you guys for being here with me. As always, I appreciate it. Watch the videos on screen if you want to hear me yap some more. And remember, this is available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So if you prefer to listen to these episodes, you can check it out. Anyway, love you all. We'll see you on the next one. Fall for tips. Peace.